In this video, we're going to start creating, or rather sending, our message once we load our conversation. Because right now, we only have static, some dummy messages that are not really real. So to achieve that, let's go back to our code. And here, let's just close everything. Now we're gonna open our chat, app Livewire chat component. In here, we're gonna add a few more properties. Here, after the receiver, we can just add public body for the message body. Then here, we're gonna add a new function. Here we can call this one function send message. Right, for this, we can say when the message, when you hit this method, want to validate, right, to make sure the message is not null. You can say this validate the array body. Want to make sure that it is first of all required and it is a string. After validating, now we can go ahead and create the message. You can say created message is equals to message model create. And here we can say conversation ID is equals to, since here we have the conversation ID loaded automatically, we can simply access it here saying conversation ID. Next, sender ID. At this point, the one who sends this message is the authenticated user. And just say auth ID. Make sure I add brackets there. And then the receiver, ID. The receiver for this one is this receiver that we already declared here in the mount. So you get receiver is equals to this receiver ID. Also here, make sure that here on conversation it is this conversation ID, since we don't have the conversation inside this method. We're accessing it from outside the method. Make sure it's this conversation, this receiver ID. Last but not the least, here body will be equals to this body. Right here, add semicolon there to close it. Right, after creating this message, we're also going to reset the body only. All right. Now after doing that, we can simply now go to the chat blade. It says for chat, this one, Livewire chat. In here, we can close this header, close the main. Let's go to our footer so we can access the form. Make sure I go to the form. In the form, as you can see, I already added actually the body, wire model, body. In here, since this is Livewire version 3 and up, we can simply remove this defer. It's already deferred by default. And we have already created the body property inside our chat in here. So in here, we're only going to add one thing, which is here wire submit is equals to send message. And you can see down here, type is submit, and the send button is already working. So now let's go ahead and actually test this. Here, let's refresh this. Here at the bottom, if I say hello, send a new message. Right here, it seems to be sent. Okay, I click enter, but it's not resetting, and we're gonna look at that later. But if you go to the database right here, and then I refresh this, you see that we have a new message, and it's saying hello here, the one we just created. You can go ahead and send a new message. How do you do? Send. Go to database, I refresh, another message here, how do you do? With the conversation ID, sender ID, receiver ID. All right, so now let's look at some underlying issues here. When we click send, the message is being sent, but it is not resetting here. So let's look at the blade file. And also here in the form, you might see that there are two input fields. This one, the one we're using, and we also have this one, which is display none. This, it only prevents this input field from auto-filling. Okay, it's like a feature I use myself. I found this solution on GitHub. If you want to prevent the form from auto-filling, especially the input, because they don't want to auto-fill the input field for the message. So that's why I'm using this thing to prevent that, and also add here to prevent that. All right, so for this, I think I saw a solution here. If you go to the app.js, in here, as you can see, we are loading Alpine JavaScript here. Import Alpine like that. Now this, since Livewire version 3 and up, it already comes with Alpine.js already bundled in the script. So we have to comment this out, or rather don't import Alpine from the app.js manually. So we can just comment this code out, I think, from here to there. All right, also this one, Alpine start, just comment that out. So now if I go back and then refresh this, if I say another message, I send, you see now the reset is working fine, and the message is also being sent here, another message. So that's it for this video, and I also look at this more to make sure it does not cause any errors, but for now I think that is it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.